Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Surprise Saturdays. I am NPC Badger, and normally my Saturdays are my I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm doing whatever vibes are there. Today I decided to work on, and it's gonna be backwards for y'all. I don't know if I can fix that. Okay. It may just look backwards to y'all, I'm gonna be honest. But I just found out that one of my I just found out that one of my best friend's kiddos is now in the hospital. And I want to make her a card as like a get well card. And I want to make like a you're still a good mom and like you're doing everything you possibly can card for her mom. And then from there I'm probably going to do some cross stitching because I'm really behind on my temperature cross stitch, and I can totally explain that and answer questions or anything as well. If anyone does have those kinds of questions, that is what I'm here for. But yeah, so we're just gonna kind of vibe today, and again, I haven't messed with the settings in terms of how to get my camera to not be reversed, but here we are. So, yeah. Alright, I'm gonna put back in place because I want to deal with it right now. I'm gonna go ahead and make the stickers visible as well. Okay, so for now, that's where we're at. So yeah, just come vibe, come hang out. At this point, you can kind of ask me anything. And then if I still have time after making stuff, then I will. I'll probably play A Date with Death. But yeah, so we're gonna start with the kiddos get well card, which I was thinking about doing that one as like the background. Also, I know my desk is a wreck, so please don't judge too harshly. Why am I doing this the hard way? Because that's what I do with my life. That's fine. So this kiddo is literally like I love her to pieces. She is one of my favorite humans that isn't my own tiny human. And I really she's been going through kind of a hard time. And I just want to make sure that she feels loved and valued and thought about because she deserves that. So we're gonna start here. Well, it's not perfect, but honestly, what in this life is, right? And then I could also hold it like that, so it's like a fun little thing for her. bunch of like crazy looking stickers. And these are the ones that I like cut out from like having the borders and stuff on them. These all back in here so that they are not taking up a ton of space. Those are small. Megas, Squiggles. These are cute little astronaut wings. I'll decide between gold and silver. Oops, I totally dropped something. Does that not surprise me? Because I'm hot mess and it's a true thing. I didn't actually. So I have an idea, but I'm a little... Okay. The problem is that her mom might kill me. Her mom is my bestie, and she might kill me, but part of me really wants to make confetti. Oops. With her kiddo's initials, but it doesn't. Oh no, is it not big enough? Hang on, I might have a bigger heart-shaped one. I'll be right back. So we'll see if this one is bigger. It is. You can see. Yes! Also, I'm not gonna torture her mom by putting a giant bag of confetti, but I mean, just keep it open so it's a non-issue. Also, I should probably put these in like a bowl. That'll probably make dumping it a lot easier. Actually, do I have? Sticking. Probably not. Whatever that is. I am a hot mess human. I am a hot mess human. Jammed. That one's sad. And this one is also a little sad. Small, fragile, delicate things. Not my forte, but that's okay. You can still try, right? that one was sad. Oops. Yeah, this is probably why big box stores have like a big companies and shit that do this. It's not someone doing it by hand. With good reason. Goodness gracious. That's okay though. Now comes the part that requires coordination. You want to know what I don't have? Coordination. The problem is I know there's got to be an easier way to do this, but will I figure it out? Probably not. this for right now. Well, no, because if I'm gonna do this and then fold it in half, it'd have to be one of these corners. So probably here. Okay, so and of course I butchered it. It's okay. It's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. Again, the goal is just to make her feel better. It doesn't have to be perfect. Since I don't like how that one turned out. Since one of them turned out well. And this one. have her favorite color as well. It's a different one. Don't tell me that I just... So she's just like me, which I thought, but I wanted to make sure. So I'm gonna put it like right here. How if I could cut in a straight line? I can't, clearly, but that's okay. I'm gonna try to do it anyway. Okay. And then we can just okay. That one. Yeah, we just did that. Okay. So. So we'll do this. there's those. And then this way I can put this one like right here, maybe? Okay. And yes, I know it's probably gonna look like a hodgepodge, and I'm probably gonna hate it because I'm a perfectionist at heart, and I hate when things don't look exactly the way I want them to. However, that's okay. Again, perfection is not what we're going for. We're going for whatever is gonna make things not suck so bad, you know? Okay, so now the question is, do we put... Actually, I'm gonna put this in the front, because I can. Okay, so really quick, when it folds, is it folding this way? Huzzah. I think I'm gonna use gold since I used the sunflower. get to put names until after. Oh, hey, video. Hi. I am so sorry that I am just not seeing your message. So one of my besties, her daughter was actually admitted to the hospital. She's been sick for a while. And so I've been trying to think of ways to like support her, because unfortunately we live on like opposite sides of our country. And so the best I can do right now, because I cannot afford a plane ticket, is I'm making both her daughter a card, and I'm going to make her a card, because she's very much like me, where we are anxious and stressed and overthink everything. I know it's been really, really hard for her mom, because her mom feels like she's not getting as much support. And obviously it's been really, really hard for her daughter, because this has been going on for a few weeks, and they just now, like the doctors just now deemed that she needed to actually be, seen by the emergency room, which her mom's been pushing for a while, but they've gotten like misinformation. I don't know why I pulled this. I don't use it yet. Or them not believing or doing enough testing, and so, and like her daughter and I play, actually all three of us play Squid Games Unleashed together as like a family group. So like I've been friends with her and her family for, it'll be a year this summer, which is weird to think, because we're basically besties at this point. But thank you. It's one of those where like she kind of just started feeling like sick and having low energy, and then it turned into like she wasn't able to keep like food down very effectively. And they'd taken her to like urgent care, they'd taken her to the doctor, they'd taken her to a second doctor. They were waiting on like a GI specialist, because she ended up losing about 10 pounds in about 2 weeks. And as a teenager, a very young teenager, that is not normal. And she was also getting a lot more picky with her food, which is also not very normal for her. And so her mom's been stressed out and worried, and again, she feels like she hasn't had a whole lot of support, because she has 4 kids total, and so like between juggling her sick kiddo plus having the other 3 who are still having to go to school and doing their routines and stuff, and it's been a lot for her. And it's one of those where like I wish I lived closer. Yeah, I wished I lived closer, because like I would be there to support her in a heartbeat, but unfortunately again we live opposite sides, so it's hard. And so I've been meaning to make cards for like a week, because like her daughter's been sick obviously for a while, and so and because her daughter's been sick for a while, I wanted to make the cards, and then she told me tonight that they finally got her like actually admitted. So and honestly their family is like the sweetest. I love all of them, and yeah, it's that weird situation where like I want to be able to be more supportive, and I want to be able to do more, but like I physically can't. So like this is kind of the closest I can do. But okay, I was gonna do something else also. So not only am I doing the card, I'm kind of oh, did I already lose it? Why am I like this? So I'm kind of evil, but not as evil as I could be. And the reason I say that is because around here somewhere, I made confetti, and it has like her daughter's initials or her daughter's like first initial, and then like a bunch of like heart confetti, but I put it in a bag so that hopefully I can seal it and send it to her and be like, when you're feeling better and in a place where it's easy to clean this up. That way she's not just opening a cart full of confetti, because I don't know about you, but like getting confetti everywhere makes me want to commit arson. So right? And it's definitely one of those where it's like, we have like a code phrase that we do where it's like, how can I support you? Because like the how can I help, I don't know, in my opinion, I feel like it's almost overused a lot, right? And glitter gets everywhere, I swear. And of course now I've somehow managed to lose the bag that had confetti that is not sealed yet. So there's that going for me. Yeah, no, it's gone now. It's gone forever. Not forever. It'll be like, I'll find it as soon as I stop like looking for it. Well. Oh, haha! I found it. So it's a bag, and I like hole punched out all the confetti, and then I'm probably gonna throw some glitter in there just so it maybe never actually gets opened. But yeah, so it's one of those where I want her to feel better, and I love her to pieces, and yeah, it's it's definitely one of those things. And then once I'm done with cards, I'm also really behind. So I've been working on a temperature. Oh, what just happened? I'm working on a temperature cross stitch. So it's the. Oh, it's trying to focus on it. Interesting. Oh, is that too close? That might be why. So it's the high and low for every day for the entire year, and I'm only up to February 16th, and today is the 28th. So I need to, get caught up. So this is my other goal tonight. Fingers crossed. If I don't get to it, it's fine. I can just work on it tomorrow. What are you up to today? Thank you. Because I mean, it's Sunday there now, yeah? Ooh, yay! Do it. You can do this. I have faith in you. I can even stop talking and just like vibe in the background if you need the ability to concentrate without words in the background. Don't like that. That's fair. I just know that like I'm one of those people where like I can have certain stimuli in the background, but if it's like the wrong stimuli, it makes me nuts. And like not in like a, oh, that's fun and kooky way. It's in like an I'm gonna commit crimes kind of way. No, stick. There we go. I know, and then I always like feel bad. I'm one of those people where like I feel bad when I then like rage, but I'm like also, oops, I'm sorry. I wasn't trying to be a complete and total jerk, but also the sounds you were making were making my brain explode inside my skull. So doesn't quite work. I should have put this one. Ah. There we go. Yay! That makes me happy. It's really funny too. So like that's one of the reasons why I found like lo-fi, like non-copyright music for background sounds, because I almost prefer this over like some game music. Like I'll put this on instead of the Stardew background music because it's just, in my opinion, it's like not consistent. Sometimes it's on, sometimes it's off, and I'm like, I need something all the time. But like we have a 36-gallon fish tank in my house, and when the water gets too low, the filter is too loud, like the filter splashing water into the tank. And it's funny because it happens every time, and I don't know why, but like I'll just like not realize that it's happening and all the noise is happening in the background, and then my significant other will help me fill the tank up again, and it'll get quiet, and I'll just like look at him with this like, oh, it's so quiet, and he's like, you literally do this every single time. And I'm like, well, yes, but it's not my fault. But it gets like loud, and I just don't even realize it, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of a problem actually. So the question is, I don't think that's gonna fit. If I fold it halfway, I can just put it in the middle once it's folded. It should fold okay, I think. Maybe. Let's find out. Do this first. Very narrow card, it's fine. It's because they're squares, not rectangles. Scissors. And then it's really funny because raccoons are my bestie's favorite animal. And so when when I started our team on Squid Games Squid Games Unleashed, she has the word raccoon in her name, and I have the name Badger, so I made us the Nocturnal Brigade. And I think it's really funny and clever, and she loves it. So I was like, this works. And so now anytime I can like send her or make her something with a raccoon on it, I will, because it makes me happy, and I know it makes her happy. And she does the same thing with badgers. We are, and it's surprisingly like hard to find like those two paired together. And I know that sounds insane, but like usually it's like raccoons with like possums. So there's a lot of like raccoon stuff, which is awesome, but like badger stuff is a little bit harder to find, and then it's not usually paired with raccoons. And so, but I'm like, we literally we do the same things. I just realized that like you can't see what I'm doing. Let's not decapitate the raccoon. Seems like a terrible life choice. No, not enough. Okay, that's fine. I guess, but like the thing is that like there's no reason to be afraid of them, because like they're really like, I don't know, maybe it's just like my neck of the woods, but like the opossums that we have are like really caring mothers, and they eat ticks, so they control the bug population. Like, I think people are like weirdly afraid of things that they really shouldn't be, in my opinion, but maybe people just have really bad experiences with them. I don't know. And see, like, I've been to Australia once. It was back in like 2008, so like my memory might be a little fuzzy, but like I remember like kangaroos being like absolute jerks, and like the possums were really sweet, and the wombats were really sweet, and like I don't know. It cracks me up that y'all have the wildlife that wants to kill you. Right? Yeah, I've had kangaroo jerky, and it like astounded us when we learned, because I was a teenager at the time, when we learned that like kangaroos for you guys were like prairie dogs for us, which are just like they're everywhere and they're basically like a giant pest. And it's like, that's insane to me that like everyone thinks kangaroos are so cool, but like y'all are like they literally are just annoying. That is awesome. I can't imagine like waking up and just being like, oh look, there's the mob of kangaroos. They just vibing. I don't know. And this is gonna sound like I'm a terrible human, and I might be, but like when we ended up going to like a petting zoo type thing that had like native wildlife, right? And there was this kid that kept harassing this kangaroo like over and over again, and so like finally it like turned around and just like pushed the kid like flat on his butt, and I thought it was the funniest thing, because I'm like, his parents were literally standing right there like not doing anything, so it's like, you kind of deserved it. Maybe don't harass the kangaroo. Interesting. I've heard like the males get like really aggressive during like mating season and stuff too, but I mean most species do, so like it's not that big of a surprise in my opinion. Okay, so to preserve the raccoon, I want to put the fragile bits in one space, so we're gonna put the raccoon there. Doing what you're supposed to. Come on, get your life together. Yes. Right? I think that's amazing though. Like, I kind of wish more animals did that, except for the fact that like people are jerks and don't know what limits are or how to, you know, follow boundaries. So like slight downside. Okay, perfect. So we'll start here. We'll make sure all your little legs are down, and then we'll do the tail. Yes, excellent. I need to take my hoodie off because it's 8 billion degrees. Well, yeah, again, y'all have like some of the most dangerous species like on the planet, so See, and I love that, like, so much. We're actually doing, oh goodness, that's this week. We're doing a project for one of my kiddos' co-ops where, I don't know if I want to use those. We're doing a project where it's like we do a country and we learn about that country, and then like we bring some kind of food related to that country. Right? But we're doing Australia because last year we did Germany, and I'm doing like all the places that like, well, okay, not all the places. I'm trying to do places that like I visited before, so like my kiddo can kind of get an idea for that. And yeah, it's awesome. Except that I'm like, okay, well, now I'm torn. Do I try to order Vegemite and try to get these kids to try Vegemite? Or do I do something that like fairy bread? Because that's not something that we do here in the States. And kids will definitely eat that. Like, well, it's, again, I think the only reason like my kiddo even knows what fairy bread is because of Bluey. Whereas like I got the first-hand Vegemite experience of like we were there and it was in like our hostel as like part of the breakfast or whatever, and no one warned us that you're not supposed to put it on like a slab of butter. It's like you're supposed to be very thin with it, so all of us were like smearing it on. Yeah, and I think that shaped us as teenagers. Yeah, I think it might be a good idea to try all of that. And I actually wonder if it's even possible to get, without it costing an arm and a leg at least, to get Tim Tams here. Because, like, I know you can find them, but it's... Ooh, actually, there's a place that's kind of close to me that has, like... There's a place that's close to me that does, like... It's called, like, World Market, and they carry a bunch of different, like... treats and foods and drinks and stuff from, like, other parts of the world. So I wonder if I could find it there. I didn't even think about that. Yeah, no, that is not no, that is like the worst thing. And I'm sure they were all like, why are you even eating this? Like, what is happening here? Well, see, now I have to look it up to see if they carry it. Also, so now, because I'm going to be nosy AF, and you're welcome to tell me if I, hang on. You didn't stop them? That's diabolical. Like, that's diabolical. So I have to ask, since since you live in Australia and it sounds like you were raised there, how did you meet your wife? Because like that's a pretty big ocean to cross. And you are also that's so funny. Oh goodness. Oh, that's really cool though. That's so awesome. It'd help if I could spell the word Australia. Goodness gracious. Okay. Okay, so there's Australian licorice, ginger beer, Tim Tams. So I can find. Oh, cool. They also carry the Vegemite. Okay, so when it comes to Tim Tams, is there like the original ones, like the original chocolate, or like the mint dark chocolate? Like, what would you, if you could pick any of them? Also, I promise I'm also reading what you're saying too. I promise. I just hyper focused on the wrong thing for a second there. The original? Okay, good. I will, because yeah, that store is literally like 10 minutes from my house and it's in my town, so I can definitely go. She was starting a community group with her friends that were teaching people how to draw. That's so cool. Hooray. That's so cool. So then, like, did you end up like taking her class? Oh, that's awesome. That's so cool. I love that. Wow, that's wrong. Oops. That doesn't look at all like the word it's supposed to. I'm just gonna... Oh, that's awful. Okay, I shouldn't have done that, what I just did. Oh, that's so cool! That's amazing. So I have to ask, is that technically like... You just do words good? I mean, that's valid. I almost think it's partly though because our brains, like, even when we're creative, and it's like the whole like left side, right side, or whatever, but like they definitely take different like neuro paths for each of the different like creative. Like there's the creative with words, there's the creative with like art, and even in art, it's like some people are great at drawing and painting, but not so good at like clay sculpting or like that kind of stuff. Okay, so if you guys ever get your webcomic online, or if it is already online, I would love to have the link, because I would love to go read it. What do you mean you're like, oh no, that's the goal, right? Like you want to be able to do that. I mean, that's fair. Okay, that's totally valid. I can get that. I can get behind that. I understand that. Okay, so then I have to ask, are you... I guess, like, what roles do y'all play? Ooh, that's so cool. Okay, well, again, if you share the links, I will totally read it. And I have to ask, like... Oh, yeah. I was gonna say it should allow links, because I know that we did it for, I had someone send me a link for something through chat as well. If it doesn't, I can always fix that, I think. Ooh. Excellent. Yes! I have more reading! Huzzah! Ooh, also, I was gonna say, if it's on my webtoon, because I also do like webtoon too, so that would be... Yes! Excellent. So excited! Yay! Okay, so then I have to ask, what... Is this like the same campaign? Do you guys have like... Have y'all played multiple campaigns as like a group? I'm way too nosy for my own good, so you're welcome to tell me to like bugger off if I'm being too much. And like if you could play any class, like what was your like first class if you played more than one? Oh no! Oops. There we go. Do you know how hard it is to find groups that have played either the same campaign or with the same people, like, more than, like, a year? It is insane to me. It is insane to me how often, like, they, like, fizzle out or fade out or whatever. I mean, that makes sense. You do have to make, like, the storytelling make sense, right? But... because, like, we have one of ours... Hey, how long have we been playing with our group?
Like the Friday night group that we
Yeah.
We started September of 2017.
Okay, so one of our group... Oh, you're a forever DM? That's amazing. Our group has been playing since 2017, and we're on our second campaign. Finally, but I say finally like we haven't been playing it for what, 2 years?
2016. I was wrong.
Sorry, 2016. long have we been playing this campaign, our current campaign?
I want to say it started 22, like January.
Okay, so about 4 years. Okay, so yeah, so we've been playing our current campaign for 4 years, but we've been a group since 2016. And it's really funny because I'm one of those people that like I again, it's the ADHD brain, and maybe I need to, it would take too much work to be a DM. Ooh. And that's totally valid. They're like, we want someone else to do all that hard work. Okay, thanks. And you're like, bet. Hard work? Got it. Yeah, my SO has DM'd a campaign, and we're trying to get him to DM a one-shot for a couple of my friends who are like interested, but they're not sure if they're gonna like it or not. And then the two guys in my house play a different campaign with a friend, and at the time they started that, like, I wasn't available that day. So they've been playing it. They've been playing that one for about 5 years, and then like we've had the same DM for one of them for one of our groups. So I just like making the shiny click clack math rocks. Okay, so I need to let the ink in that one dry, but that one is now done. So her raccoon one is done. Her daughter's one is done. I'll let those dry. And I guess I'm gonna start this and see how caught up I can get in the next like 40 minutes. We'll see. Alright. Well, yeah, okay. I joke about that because oh, who is it? My first character was Keitha, and I had like these Harley Quinn. Yes, I had these like Harley Quinn themed dice, and they would only work for her. Well, then when why am I missing my needle? That's a problem. I've got one needle in my bag. Someone might just get a little stabbed. It's fine. But like when because I went through like a weird period where I couldn't do it. I don't know why. I struggled. Yes. Sorry. And so I tried doing like a new character, and her name was Lexi, and I tried to use the same. I tried really, really hard to use the same dice, and like would not work. Like my dice hated me. I had terrible rolls. So as soon as I got a new set of dice that matched her aesthetic, suddenly I started rolling good again. I swear, people don't believe you, but it's a real thing. Also, I will be right back because the neurodivergent brain does not like the fork I currently have in my hand. So I will be right back. Sorry. No, those are like, yeah, no, still bad fork. Bad fork. Okay, better now. Hooray. Okay. So. So I'm pretty sure I need. Should be these two, I think. To look up the weather. Okay. Not those. that one. Don't need that one. Yeah, okay. Roommate came in clutch and brought me cake, so. Hooray! Okay, so 17th should be, yeah, it should be these two. It should be just outline for this one. Let me double check my pattern. It should be just an open circle. Okay, so I've never done it like this, so hopefully it works the way it's supposed to and doesn't do the weird glitchy thing. Ow. Note to self, do not stab yourself. It hurts. Yes, it's good for you as well. Don't stab yourself. It hurts. It's not fun. 0 out of 10 would recommend. Okay. There we go. Cool. Ow. So we shall do. Oh my. Spicy, and then yay. So I should already have the orange. Need another one of those. Dark green. Same way. Yeah. Nope. There you go. So we have that. And then we need to separate these things out. Is that two? Yeah. No. Straighten your life out, thank you. Okay. No loose random here. I don't need your assistance right now. Like those. There we go. Okay. Let's take that, which then shoves those through. Did I seriously order? Of course I did. Oh goodness. Okay. It's fine. I'm only kind of a hot mess. It's fine. It's totes fine. Wait, why are those? There we go. Okay. Oh, geez, that's not what I wanted to do. No, fix that. Thank you. Alright. I am gonna mute my mic just so that y'all don't have to listen to me chewing, because that's gross. I am not into that kind of ASMR. So I am gonna mute myself, but I will leave the music on, and then once I'm done eating my cake, I will be able to talk again. Fastest cake consumption ever. Mwahahaha. Huzzah! Crafting! Cake and crafting. I've been rethinking it because, like, I'm kind of a chaotic human, but, like, I feel like the games and streams I do are not, which is super weird. So I've been, like, rethinking the chaos part of my, like, tagline into just, like, cozy. I haven't decided yet, though. Because that's definitely a thing. Slightly farther forward. Y'all should be able to see what I'm doing now. But if I try to get it any closer, then you cannot see what I'm doing because my webcam goes, I don't know what's happening. Help, help. I'm being repressed. I'm so glad you I'm so glad you got that reference. That's actually that is our quote-unquote Christmas movie every year. Yes, right? We watch it literally every year. We're still debating when my small human is old enough to be able to watch it. We decided this past year was not the year to do that. But we literally watch it every Christmas. We open presents, we do cinnamon rolls in the morning, and then while he's like playing with his new toys or we're doing quiet time or after he goes to bed, we absolutely watch that movie every year. I have since I was like young, and I've gotten really, really lucky that my significant other is like, no, that's valid, that's fair, let's do it. And he has a very similar sense of humor that I do. So so yeah, so we do that with him, and then we always watch like the original, like what, the 1960s version of How the Grinch Stole Christmas. Hang on. Yeah, 1966. Yeah. And I'll read him, or I used to. He's been kind of on a weird not wanting to be read to go to bed kick. But I used to read the the How the Grinch Stole Christmas on Christmas Eve the night before, and then we'd watch it the next day. So I'm trying to create like low pressure traditions with him, because like I grew up in a house where it was like we had everyone and their cousins, it felt like, come to our house every Christmas and every Thanksgiving, and so there's a lot of pressure of like everything has to be perfect and everything has to be done, and we're feeding an army, and like that's just too much pressure, man. Like I can't deal with that. I'd much rather have it be low key. Usually if we do something with friends, it's like not even on the actual holiday. We do it like the few days before, or we've done stuff on like Christmas Eve so that they could spend Christmas Day with their families, kind of thing. Oh crap, I'm supposed to be, hang on. We gotta go back and fix that, because I got talking and stopped paying attention to what I was supposed to be doing. That's okay. So we will go, because it should just be this one. This one. There we go. Also the amount of times that in my house I'm like, and sharp pointy teeth. Like I can't tell you how much I do that in my house. Even when it's not necessarily like necessary or appropriate, but it's fine. I do it anyway because it makes me happy. So there we go. Now I am back on track, and I have fixed the stitches that I totally skipped because I wasn't paying attention to what I was doing with my life. It's definitely gonna take some practice getting used to fixing this. Right? And then like if you're like super honest where you're like, no, it was chaotic and a lot, people are like, but you're supposed to be enjoying it, and it's like, yes, but also like it's a lot sometimes. Well, and before I quit my job to be a stay-at-home mom, there's some that call me Tim the Shrubber. I make, sort, and arrange shrubberies. Knee! No, don't knee him. But yeah, like, and I used to work retail. Like, I was a professional dog trainer, but I worked for, like, a company. And the season, like, the holiday season is really, really slow for training. So I did a lot of, like, other work in the store. And then, like, people are like, how'd you enjoy it? And I'm like, people are nuts, and they forget to buy animal food until the night before, like, we're closed for a day, and they panic because they didn't think about it. I'm like, how do you not remember that your animals need to be fed? Oh, yeah, you're right. Roger was the shrubber. You're right. You're right. You're right. I love that so much. I also, it's Roger the shrubber and Tim the, yeah, you right. But, I was gonna say, if you're a really big fan of, Tom Cleese, wow, good, it's getting late here, apparently, and my brain doesn't want to work. If you're a fan of John Cleese and you haven't seen it yet, his movie with Jamie Lee Curtis called Fierce Creatures is honestly one of the funniest movies. Like, it's one of my favorites. Basically, he's trying to... Yeah, right? But basically, he, like, owns a zoo. Or he manages a zoo, and, like, they're trying to get rid of all the animals that are, like, not... Like, the new management wants to get rid of all the animals that are not, like, fierce or scary. So, like, he spends the whole movie trying to, like, make these animals that are very clearly not fierce animals into, like, what look like or sound like scary creatures so that he can save them. It is incredibly unhinged and campy, and I love it so much. And then, oh yeah, and then, I'm trying to think if you've ever watched, I need to see what temperature that next day is. If you've ever seen Schitt's Creek, the main guy in that, who I will look up his name now because I don't remember because names are hard. No, not Scouts. There we go. Eugene Levy. Yes, him. So if you love him and you also love like kind of campy, I don't know if I would call it campy. How would they describe it? It's like, a mockumentary. So there's a mockumentary called Best in Show, and it has Jane Lynch in it, and Eugene Levy, and who else? Let me look at the cast list. Fred Willard, Catherine O'Hara is in it. Jennifer Coolidge is in it. It's honestly, it's probably one of my favorite movies, but they made it when, like, I want to say, like, writer's strikes or something were happening. So it's very, like, off the cuff, but it's about all these different owners who are getting ready to go to, like, a dog show. And, like, their points of view and, like, how they prefer their dog breed over other dog breeds. Like, I absolutely love that movie, and I don't think it's just because I love dogs. Like, I do love dogs, but I don't think it's just for that reason. Okay, so I did that day as well. So 6 and 3. Okay, so 60 should be the yellow. Yeah, and I don't have the ones yet. It is. I got my significant other to watch it once, and he was like, this is definitely your kind of movie. I don't know if I would necessarily watch it again. And I was like, okay, and that's valid, but we watched Spaceballs after I gave birth to my kiddo, because that's his favorite movie, and it was a good way for him to, like, hang out and keep my brain occupied. So, like, we're very much into, like, that kind of movie where it's, like, meant to be kind of a mock, but, like, they're still pretty good. Okay, and then 6 and 3. Okay, so if that's 6, 50, 40s, this one is 30s. Do I already have a 30s color? Yes, I do. Hooray! I don't have to cut more yet. same set of stitches, just different colors. Hooray! Okay, the next two are going to be the same, so that's easy enough. So let's start in this corner then. Oh goodness. Sorry, I'm getting updates on my friend's daughter, and apparently she is trolling her sibling because he's staying in her room tonight, where apparently the entrance to their attic is, and so she's trolling him, saying that there's a woman in the attic. He's like she's freaking out her brother. Oh goodness. Yeah, she's kind of a troller, and I love her for it. Also, funnily enough, this is actually the same friend, so she and I are both doing this cross stitch together. So one, it keeps us motivated because both of us will start something and then potentially not finish it ever. And that way we can also compare what the weather was like for each of us throughout the year. But like, I'm way more behind than she is, so I'm like, I have to catch up now. I swear, collecting this is gonna sound bad, collecting craft supplies and actually having crafts as a hobby are two separate hobbies. Like, I have a craft closet that has everything from like diamond painting to regular painting to cross stitch to crochet to epoxy to drawing and coloring. Like, It's the dopamine hit. It's the, if I'm not getting enough out of this, I don't want to do it anymore. And so it's hard. Honestly, that's one of the reasons I've been like nervous about streaming even, is because I'm like, well, what happens if like I suddenly like don't get the dopamine from this anymore? And like I stop, like I'm putting all this effort into it just to have it not work out. Like I just good. I'm so glad that she's good for you for that. And obviously more than just that, but but it's also like so hard. I'm absolutely the person that like that's amazing. Yeah, my significant other is 100% my, like, he's the logic to my emotion, and he's very much the, hey, weren't you supposed to be doing something? And I'm like, I don't even remember what I was doing before I walked in here. And he's like, you were doing this. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. You're definitely right. I was supposed to be doing that this whole time. Oops. So I can 100% relate. That's actually today we okay, let me preface with our backyard fence has been like starting to rot away a little bit anyway, because it's an old fence and like it needs to be like fully redone. However, I have dogs, and at least one of them has figured out that she can like destroy and or chew her way and make holes. And so they've gotten out twice this like in the last like 2 weeks, which is not a normal occurrence, but the holes were finally big enough. And one of them, like, they ended up in my neighbor's yard, and I was like, oh geez, like, please just don't. And so we we finally got, is that right? Yeah, it is. Okay. We got like fence panels today, and I got an early birthday gift of screwdriver bits for my drill. And so like I installed the new fence panels today, but like halfway through I was like, I don't want to keep doing this. And he was like, okay, but we're already most of the way done. Just get it done, finish it up, and then we don't have the dogs escaping and the fence will be fixed. And I'm like, oh yeah, you're right. But like I was like, this isn't, I love my power tool, I love using it, but also this isn't fun anymore. And my brain is seeking dopamine from somewhere else now. And then I proceeded to nap for 4 hours because I forgot that when you do manual labor during the hottest part of the day, that you're gonna overheat and get tired real fast. Oops. So well, for us it was one of those that like our fence has been needing fixed for like a while, and so I kept apologizing because like I'm kind of the fixer in my house. I'm the one who like wants to do stuff and like make it better and whatever. And I was like, I'm sorry that like it takes so long for me to do projects and stuff. And he's like, well, part of it is finding the time, finding the motivation, having the money. And I mean, in our situation, it's also trying to manage a small human that very, very much wants to help, but like his help is only like semi-helpful. So it's like juggling all of that. It's a lot. And it's like, you're right. But also, this did not need to take as long as it did. We had it done in like less than an hour. So, so I'm like, well, now I feel bad that it could have been done way sooner, and I just didn't get to it. Oops. Okay, let me... I mean, that's awesome. I'm glad he's definitely helping. And yeah, it's that, like, how many times can you make a to-do list and have it still not be finished? Like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I added an extra moon somewhere when I was not supposed to. Oops. Okay. So if I just... Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, so I should only have... Okay, well, we're just gonna say that I did this one. Oh my god. 1, 2, 3. Because that one should be in line with... Yeah, okay. I'm so confused. Actually, hang on. Is there 29 days, though? To make... It shouldn't, though, because it's made for... 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6... Oh, geez. Okay, no, that was not helpful at all. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 28. Okay, but like, that makes no sense. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. But I'm only on 19. I am so confused. Okay, let's try this again. Let's match the pattern. Okay, so we have full 1, 2. So I want to make sure I'm not crazy. 2, 3. We have the open, the open, the open, half, half, half. We have the side, the side, the side. Then we have 1, 2, 3 of that one. 1, 2, 3 of that one. And then the open. And then 1, 2. Okay. Oops. Okay, I'm gonna... Okay. So that should mean I should have 9 left, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, I don't know how to count today, apparently. Good news is I didn't actually mess up like I thought I did. So, hooray! Now, if only I could count. Okay, so now I need to... No, stop trying to make me do stuff I don't want to do. 50 and 26. Okay. So that would be... Whoops. Nope, think 50 is the dark green, right? 9, 10, 20, 30, 40, yeah. 50 is dark green, which I have right here. And then 20, so 0, 10, 20, should be this one. Well, and like, not only is math hard, because I'm sure as a writer, you understand that, like, you're usually good at one or the other, but not both. Like, you're good at math and science, or you're good at reading, writing, that kind of stuff. And, like, apparently my brain thought, because I was on the 19th, that meant there was, when I hit the 20th, that meant I only had 8 left, but that's after I'm done doing the 20th. So it's not even math, it's just counting. I can't count. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. The world's on fire and I'm a mess, but that's okay. Oops. Alright. That's amazing. Funnily enough, my SO is also an IT tech guy. So that's kind of awesome. Your brain is like, how do I switch from math and tech to fun? I mean, obviously, like, you at least enjoy your job a little bit, or you wouldn't, you know, keep going. But I can totally see how your brain would be like, I don't know what to do. Okay, thanks. Okay, so that should mean I need to do one more of this style, which I can do. I can make that happen. Ah, I am so sorry. I just hit my webcam. Let me just... I can't make anything work the way I want to. There we go. That's fair. I feel like a lot of times though, like, your coworkers are like what make or break your place anyway. Like, I know people who love their jobs and like don't want to stay because the people they work with are like not great. So like I totally get that. And see, it's funny because like I feel like mine would argue that like his coworkers are fine, but like the clients he works with are like not that great. And so he's like, I'd be happy if they would just like leave me alone and not call me ever. Like, this could have been an email. And I'm like, fair, but they're gonna call you because that's what they do. They don't know what else to do with their lives. Oh yeah, honestly, that's part of why it's part of why I quit the job that I was at, was because like I absolutely loved dog training, loved it, and I loved about 3/4 of my coworkers, but I hit this like weird mental block period where I needed a mental health break, and so I went on like short-term leave. And when I came back, like 90% of my management team had changed, and like I just wasn't getting the support that I was like used to. And then people up the higher up the chain were like kind of undermining how good I was at my job and trying to give my job to someone else who held like the same position. Right? It would be perfect if not for the users. Because the users, in my general experience from like listening to stories, the users are like not smart. That sounds so bad, but like I actually have a cross stitch that I want to do for mine that says, have you tried turning it off and on again? Because I feel like it's very, very accurate. And also Google Google is kind of a thing for like basic problems. It is not that hard to look up how to solve some problems. Not all, but a lot of problems you can like there's plenty of documented cases. Like I just That's amazing. I think I also had, what was the other one I have? Hang on. Oh, I have, I don't know how it's gonna look on the screen, but I have, oh, it probably won't focus, will it? I have one that says, crying is a free action. Oops. So crying is a free action with the rainbow dice around it. I have one that says never mind quoth, quote the passive aggressive raven. You are never alone if you have demons. Live, laugh, toaster bath. I've tried to convince him to let me make that one to put in his cubicle, and he's like, you absolutely cannot do that. And then I also have, ooh, I can grab it and show you really quick. Hang on. I'm gonna have to share that with him, like 100%. I made him this for, because I could. The numbers don't look quite right because the numbers in the pattern were not the actual ones that were on top of an actual die, and it bothered me, and I didn't want to give it for it to not be correct. But I will definitely have to share that PEBCAC with him because I feel like he will 100% relate to that. Girl, you know me, you're doing so good. Well, and I'm sure it's probably the same out there too because stupidity is everywhere. But like, so he works in like a projects situation where like he helps set up banks and stuff, and the that was not correct. There we go. Okay. He's like, the number of times that like project managers don't know what they're doing because they've literally never worked IT before and are telling us how to do stuff, but like we don't, that's not how it works, is insane. And I'm like, I'm so sorry. That sucks. Right? And you're just like, why are you here? Why? You're like, okay, good luck with that. You're like, maybe don't make promises unless you're gonna learn how to do the IT work and you help, because like that's not gonna happen. That's really funny. Especially since like document writing already is kind of like a pain. And like, again, I don't know about like where you work, but the KBs at my significant other's job are like not they're either non-existent or they're horrifically outdated. And so he's like, I can't even like look it up this way because it's not available information. So I'm guessing for that level, I guess it's it's written by like higher tiers, and so it's very, very technical, but not necessarily meant to be understood by the general populace. You're like, I'm glad you showed off your knowledge, but like that is not helpful in this case. Like, you're dealing with tier 1s and tier 2s. You are not dealing with tier 4s and 6s. Like, stop it. I don't like the way that stitch looks. Fix your life, please. Thanks. Ew, that's why I don't like the way that stitch looks. Got it. Fixed it. Problem solved. Come on. It's funny too, because he'll tell me about some like technical stuff, and I'm like, wouldn't you just like do this in general? And he's like, yes you would. So why is it that you get it and you don't even work in tech? And I'm like, because I have common sense. Oops, but like not oops. Okay, so the 20th is now done. We only have 8 more days to go. Pile from earlier. There's this. Oh, jeez, not all of that. That needs to go. That doesn't. That does. This does not, I don't think. Right? It's one of those where you're just like, you spend all day being told that like you're doing it wrong or you're doing it incorrectly, and you're like, but it makes sense to normal humans. Like, how? How? I totally get that. Okay. So I need to go back to my pattern keeper. I need to do that one because I am done with that one now. Okay, and then the 21st was 50s and 30s, which should be dark green, which is this one. But then 30s is, oh geez, that's a hot mess. Express folder. I think it's, is it that one? No, I think it's, hang on. I think it's this one. Are these the same color? No, they're not. Okay. Cool. Boop. There was one where like they were the it's a hot mess, to be honest. But there was something along the lines of like they were having to delete certain folders because like they were no longer going to be supported. But instead of like setting one person to do it, they like just started deleting whatever old like accounts there were, except that some of those accounts housed like the base function and just hadn't been touched because they were doing what they were supposed to be doing. And like the amount of like, oh shit, we have to fix this. But it's like, well, you deleted it, like what are we can't bring it back. Like you royally did this to yourself. And they're like, oh, you mean we shouldn't have done that? And it's like, yeah, no you shouldn't have. And so like it was a mess for a while, like. And then of course my significant other moved to projects instead, so he's like, not my problem, good luck, maybe don't do that again. Oh, I should actually make sure, is that the right temperature? This should be 30s. I'm trying to do it with 20s. That's not gonna work. That is wrong. Incorrect. I'm glad I caught that before I even finished the first stitch, though.
Scout more than 5 seconds.
Yeah. I just the level of stupidity with humans is kind of insane, in my opinion. But okay, so I need it's the dark one, and I don't have the dark one yet. Dark one. Also, tell your wife that her art is gorgeous, by the way. I mean, I'm sure she already knows that, but right? Sometimes I wonder how these people have like survived not having the Darwin Award come back to bite them in the butt. I'm like, I don't understand. But I feel that way about like a lot of humans just in general. Tech just brings out like the worst in them. There we go. Those are the right colors. Of course. Again, like I don't know. I'm a big fan, and I've been teaching my kiddo this, that like one, we don't comment on like people's appearances if it's something they can't fix in about 30 seconds. So things like toilet paper on your shoe or spinach in your teeth. But I also am like a big fan of like we compliment people if there's something you genuinely like about them. Like, don't give fake compliments, because like those are really obvious. But like, don't be afraid to tell someone that if there's something that you like about them or something like they're super talented at and you think that, like, say it. Because I don't think it's said enough. And like I've explicitly told my kiddo, I'm like, look, you being nice and complimenting someone could be the difference between them having a bad day and a good day. Like, as long as they are genuine. Again, don't just say it for the sake of saying it. So like, I 100% like, I recognize people's mad skills. right? And it takes what, 10 extra seconds out of your day max, but it can make a huge difference to someone. Like, I don't see the point in being shitty like that. That sounds so bad. And like, I'm not nice when I'm mad, but like, in general, like, it does not take any extra effort to be kind to someone. And being someone who struggles with like mental health and chronic health issues, like, little compliments like really make a difference. And I also try to give ones where like it's the kind of compliment that like I would want to get if I was in like their shoes. So like I'm probably sure. Aw, that's so sweet. Oh. Right? Like, it impacts you for so long. And I don't know, I do it a lot with like moms, because like, you know, anytime like there's a screaming kid or a freaking out kid, like I have a child who's fantastic in public. Like, don't get me wrong, like I wouldn't trade it for anything, but also like he's a freaking menace at home. So like I can relate to chaotic existence. So anytime I see a mom and like, you know, that they're worried as soon as someone says something of like, oh, people are like judging them. And so if I can like stop them and be like, you're doing a good job. Like, it takes like 3 seconds. 3 seconds to be like, you're doing an awesome job. That's it. And like that little bit automatically makes them like slightly less stressed, which means everyone's a little less stressed. And I don't know. I think there's enough hate in the world. We don't need any more. Right? That's very, very true. And I think that's why, like, and it cracks me up, because like my kiddo has taken it so to heart that like we'll be sitting, because I do grocery pickup, because I don't want to be in a store. That's too much pressure and too many people. But while we're sitting there, if he like something about the person who's like bringing our groceries out, he'll be like, "Mama, roll down the window. I want to say something." And I'm like, okay. And it's always been like, "I love your hair. I really love your pants," or "I love like your shoes." And I'm just like, you are the sweetest thing ever. But it cracks me up, because like my SO is very much like, don't talk to people unless you have to. And he's like, y'all are like insane. And I'm like, no, I'm just, I mean, yes, I am, but it's fine. And he's like, I wish y'all wouldn't. And I'm like, well, but you don't know what's gonna make a difference. And he's like, I guess, but for someone who's very introverted, you do this a lot. And I'm like, yeah, you're right. But I don't have to necessarily make direct eye contact, so it's fine. So do y'all make like trips out to Mexico to like visit her family? Do y'all just do like phone calls, or I want to say like Zoom meetings, but like, do you Zoom meeting your family? Oh, that's awesome. And honestly, I can see why that's not an easy or a short trip, and but I'm glad she gets to talk to them frequently. Like, that's awesome. Oh, that's so cool. I'm trying to remember which was a longer flight for me. If it was going to Europe or going to Australia, and I think it might have been Australia. It might have been the longer one. I think. They were both very long flights. Multiple meal flights. I didn't think I just searched that far. I did not. Huzzah. Now we thread through the back. Didn't mean to catch that. There we go. I mean, that's fair. I remember we had, I think the only like layover we had was in South Korea at the time. But like even that, like going there, I think it took us like, there was an extra like 2.5, 3 hour layover, and then like coming back, we ended up staying the night to try and not make it so long all at once. So yeah, that's totally fair. When especially like I've never been to Mexico. I've seen that it's very, very pretty, and that's a pull, but I also don't do well in heat in general. So like I may not thrive there. Those are both now shorter enough. I can't use them. Right? And it's one of those where you're just like, well, I'm trying. I'll do it because I love you, but also, I mean, we went to Florida to visit some of my significant others, like family and friends and stuff. But we went in like January, and we were the only people like at the beach because it was cold. And I'm like, this is perfect. And everyone is like, it's so cold. I'm like, it's nice. I don't know what y'all are talking about. That's valid. And see, I hadn't been on the West Coast. We went to like when I went there, we were in like the Sydney area, and it was definitely way more humid than I'm used to. So it's definitely a thing. I totally get that. I mean, we went during the summer, so it was y'all's winter, so again, it wasn't hot. That did kind of crack me up too, because like the first couple of days we were there, we stayed at like a hostel that was like a 5-minute walk from the beach, and like all of us are like out there in shorts and like light hoodies and stuff. And all of like the natives were all just like wearing massively warm like jackets and pants, and we're just like, this is really nice. I don't know why it's so cold for y'all. 22nd was 48. And 27. Okay, so 10, 20, 30s, and 40s would be light green. And 20s would be what? That one. Okay. I can do that. Yeah, no worries. I'm so glad you finished your book. And I'm so glad that I could be here. And honestly, I'll probably hop off now anyway, since it is after midnight. But have a good lunch. And I'm so excited for your book to be done step 1. And have a great rest of your night. Or day. Have a good time zone. I'm going to start saying that. But yeah, so with that, because yeah, I'm definitely hitting my done point too. You're welcome. Bye. With that, I will be back on Tuesday my time. And we will be doing Toby Tuesday, so I will be doing more cattails, more Romancing Crampy, and we'll go from there. But thanks for hanging out, and I